Hello, my name is Manuel De La Rosa. I'm a former reporter for Channel 5 News and a former resident of Laguna Vista. I've lived here in the past for about close to 8 years, and I'm coming here to talk to the mayor about the upcoming election here in Laguna Vista. So thank you for sitting down to talk to me, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that. First and foremost, just wanted to get to know you a little bit better, and just tell me a little bit about why you decided to run for office here, and how you got into town politics here in Laguna Vista.
Well, my wife's family has been in public service for many, many years, and we've been married for 29 years as of now, and so I wanted to get back to my community to begin with. Back in 2011, we were coaching a baseball team that we created here in Laguna Vista. It was a traveling team called Laguna Vista Longhorns. And the park at the time was pretty run down, and there was 2 baseball fields. So we went to the city council, we asked them if they could help improve the park a little bit just so the kids would be safe. Because most of the kids that were playing with us were all from Laguna Vista. We kept asking and kept asking. They did help a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was not nearly enough to be able to make it safe and great for our community. So I decided to run because I thought there was so much more to give back to my community than what was happening at the time.
Great, great. Yes, as I said, that park is very beautiful. I'm glad to see that you've been able to do something for it, because like I said, even my kids had the same issues, and I'm glad to see that you got involved with that. Talk to me a little bit more about, now that you became mayor, tell me how you became mayor, and then what you've accomplished during your term so far.
Well, in 2022, our current mayor resigned, and the council at the time appointed me to become mayor. In 2023, there was an election. I ran unopposed, and so I was elected as mayor at that point. I've been very focused on getting grants to make sure that our city is funded by not affecting taxpayers. So we've been able to get a $300,000 grant for the parks, which is going to help improve Roloff Park even more than what we initially did. We've gotten a $980,000 grant for drainage projects. As you know, we had a big rains this last year. Even though the town does very well in rains, it still needs more improvement. So we're going to focus on grants, but drainage, parks, and street improvements. And also the EMS. I created the EMS program in 2023. It is a 24-hour service, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that now you can be rest assured that a trained professional will come to your house when you're in a time of need. We also have an ambulance service now for 40 hours a week during the most heaviest times.
Great. Those are very important things, especially for the folks that live here, because that was always an issue in the past. I remember people having issues getting medical attention, so that's good to hear. Now, I know there's been some talk about on social media about taxes being raised. Tell me a little bit more about that, and what has happened in terms of taxes here during your term?
We've raised taxes only once since 2017, and we actually raised it 0.05 cents per 100 taxable value of your home, and that was to fund the EMS program. Besides that, we've kept taxes very low. We have one of the lowest tax rates in the area for cities that are similar to ours.
Great. Talk to me a little bit about the infrastructure in the town. There's some projects that are ongoing. I know I saw, like I said, some stories done on that from the local media, and it seems like they are, saying that that the town is to blame for the slowness of these projects. Can you tell us what's going on with those projects and what's their importance to this area?
Well, some months back, there was an issue with some sewage problems on Palm Boulevard. And the infrastructure, the sewage, the water, those utilities are ran by the Laguna Madre Water District. And they've been able to go in there, repair the problem. They're not completely done yet, but it's almost done. The problem when it first happened was much larger than what anybody would have imagined. It kept just getting larger and larger as the project went on to make sure that they did the project the right way, to ensure it wouldn't happen again. So with cooperation with Laguna Vista Water District and us, we've gotten the problem pretty much done in the best time manner that was possibly could be.
Okay. I know we also talk a little bit about town hall meetings. Talk to me and explain to us what happens at town hall meetings.
Well, town hall meetings are every second Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock. Sometimes we have them at the City Hall. Sometimes we have them at the South Texas Ecotourism Center. Now that we're in partnership with them to create that amazing area. I think the biggest thing that people have been talking about is their ability to speak. And so there's a 3-minute time limit. I mean, there's a 3 minutes that you can come and speak to us before we get going on the agenda. And you can bring up any topic you want to talk about. And any of those issues, if they're not on the agenda, the council can bring it up in future meetings to discuss.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because I mean, that's how you guys decide what you're going to talk about in the future, getting the feedback of the community.
Yes, I want to make sure that I want to invite everybody to come to meetings and use their 3 minutes to tell us what's important to them.
Good to know. Now, I lived in Laguna Vista twice in 2 different areas. So I lived in the neighborhood, and I also lived in the condos. We always know about the golf course. It's beautiful, and like I said, tell us, are residents being treated differently from the town area or from the neighborhood area, the condo area, versus what's going on here in this area?
Well, I just want everyone to know that I'm the mayor of Laguna Vista. I'm not the mayor of the golf course. And I treat everyone equally. I've lived in both the original town site, and I've also lived here in the golf course. And it's very important for people to know that there's no difference. Everyone's treated equally. The biggest difference, which I don't think a lot of people understand, is at the golf course, the streets, the drainage, the infrastructure is private, and it's not funded by tax dollars at all. But the people on the golf course pay the same tax rate as everybody else in town. There's no parks that are taken care of in the golf course. All of it is taken care of. All the streets, drainage is in the original town site.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Now, some critics have been talking also about your involvement in your job over at the golf course. Is there a conflict of interest with that and you being mayor here in Laguna Vista?
There is absolutely no conflict at all. I serve as the vice president of the business that manages the golf course and the 5 HOAs. I am the mayor for all of Laguna Vista. As the business and being in the public figure are 2 completely separate issues. In my professional career, I work for boards, and they make policy, and I implement their policy. When I'm the mayor, I create the policy for everybody in Laguna Vista. I've never made any policy that affects only one side of town or the other side of town. I've always tried to bring those people together, make them one Laguna Vista.
Now, I remember living in this community, and like I said, everybody knows everybody. We're all one big family. And like I said, I know we come and rally together and do things together, whether it be at the park or whether, whatever's happening in this community. And it's really sad to see some of the personal attacks that are ongoing. It's unfortunate. Tell me, what do you think about the attacks against you and your family?
It saddens me that somebody would attack me, my wife, my kids, and especially my granddaughter. Today, they're attacking me. Tomorrow, it could be attacking you if you allow this in our community. I'm the elected official. They are not. By attacking my family, you've crossed a line. The only way my opponent thinks that she can win now is for months they've been going after me and my family, smearing us. I don't appreciate it, and I'm not going to go low like they've gone. I'm going to take the high road like I've done for the last 15 years. I'm going to be positive because I believe being positive with our town is the best way to go, because we live in the best town in the United States, the safest town in the United States, where our kids can run around free, raise your family, and be safe.
I would agree with you on that. Like I said, I always tell people that this is a town I want to come back and live in. Okay, I loved it here. I lived in a lot of different cities, and by far this was the best area I lived in as for my family and just the community in general. So that being said, how do you think this is impacting like economic development and people who are considering moving here, businesses that are moving here? How does this affect your job as mayor to try to build the economics here in this town?
Like I said before, this town is the greatest town in the United States. We have developments coming in right now, 3 different housing developments with the opportunity for commercial development all along Highway 100 and a small development along 510. So I invite everybody who wants to start a thriving business with a thriving city to come to Laguna Vista and start your business.
That's good. And again, so just to wrap it up, like I said, I know that we're going to get through this election, and I've seen it happen before, where everything is kind of forgotten after it's all said and done. Just tell us the message you have for the community and how you want to get by this and hopefully move forward so it doesn't impact this community and doesn't hurt it.
Well, we're going to keep pushing the positivity in our town. We're going to try to raise everybody up. Make sure our quality of life is the best that it can possibly be. Not just for the generations for today, but for future generations. We're not only taking care of the retired folks here, but we're taking care of the families who have kids, the grandparents who have their grandkids here, to make sure that for generations to come, we are going to be a positive, great town. It's the best town in the United States. We're going to push for commercial development along the outskirts of town, so people have more opportunities, and keep our streets clean, safe, and taxes low.
We've talked about a lot of different issues here impacting this community. I just want to make sure I've touched everything that's important, and if there's anything else that you'd like to add, let me know at this point.
Well, I would just like everyone to know that I've lived in Laguna Vista for almost 25 years. I raised my kids here. I love this town. I love this town. And I look forward in the future to make it even better than it is right now. So my term that I'm running for now is for 3 years. A lot of the projects that we're working on right now, the $10 million Emergency Operations Center that I'm trying to get the grant for, is going to take longer than 3 years. And I want to be able to finish these most important projects that we have here. So come out to vote May 2nd. Vote for leadership you can trust. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in your election.
Thank you so much for interviewing me today.
Thanks.